Thank you, Valentina, Iva, and Wikatsi for having me this evening. As an alum of the class of 2021, graduated early, the Sky's Angels, it is an absolute honor to have the opportunity to speak with you all this evening. My name is Sydney Michelle Perry, and I am an actress, director, writer, singer, producer, and the proud owner of a snowshoe cat named Ray Adele. When Valentina asked me to participate in this evening's ceremony, I was so excited and immediately said yes. But very quickly, my enthusiasm turned to anxiety. What was I going to talk about? Why would anyone want to listen to me? What would I have to say that would resonate with anyone? And would it mean anything? Would I get it right? But what does getting it right even mean? What does that look or sound like? Is it perfection, no mistakes, success on the very first try? Maybe it's tears falling from people's eyes and a thunderous applause as I knock it out of the park. Is it saying all of the right things or what I think others want to hear so that they like me? Am I getting it right now? Post-graduation, I found myself striving for this pursuit of pure perfection. And when I've been unable to attain my own standards of what I thought success should look like, I've been disappointed, frustrated, and angry. Sometimes to avoid ever making a mistake or doing the wrong thing, I found myself frozen in fear, unable to do anything at all. Just the mere idea of what could go wrong or failing would get a hold of me and not let go. In order to fully live our lives, we have to be willing to experience it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We can't stand by or have others live our lives for us, no matter how uncertain and afraid we may feel. Fear is just a distraction. It shows up to protect us from what we believe will cause us harm. So it's not a totally bad thing, but it can easily misconstrue something that is meant to help us grow into this grotesque nightmare of a potential outcome that more than likely won't actually happen. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't be as bad as our minds would make us believe it to be. So how does one get over getting it right? How do you get over debilitating fear? I'm up here doing this speech, so I must have figured it out, right? Not exactly. Those things are a constant struggle. They pop up in many ways, shapes, and forms at the most inopportune of times. But as I've been able to learn, reflect, and become more self-aware, I've developed a sort of mental checklist to push, pull, drag, and throw me to the other side of what I'm trying to achieve. And as many of you are about to graduate or you're making your way through your Agnes journey, I hope these little points that I have are useful to you as you continue to develop into the badass you're always meant to be. Number one, don't run away from the fear. Don't try to evade pain or discomfort. Don't be derailed by challenges or failure. At one point or another, sooner or later, we will not get it right. And it will happen again, and again, and again. But it's all part of the process. It's how we learn and how we grow. And although it doesn't always feel good, and it's not always what we want, it's typically exactly what we need. All of those things are fine-tuning and giving you the opportunity to figure out what you truly want, and even more importantly, what you don't want. Number two, take a moment to pause and reflect. Are your fears real? Or are you blowing things out of proportion because you believe it'd be easier to just sit and do nothing than to take a leap of faith and give it your best shot? In a book I read, it talked about how we often get stuck in cycles or ways of being because that's what we're used to. And choosing to do something different and believing that things could be different, that you could be different, is a lot harder than just sticking with what you've already got. We're afraid to get our hopes up and believe for something, and thus assume it will never happen, and it's not even worth trying. We have to be honest with ourselves. We are our own litmus test for knowing if how we are currently living is the way we want to continue to live out the rest of our lives. Just because something has always been a certain way does not mean that's how it has to stay. You have the power to make the choice to change. It doesn't have to be a huge, grandiose life turned upside down, blow the roof off, this whole place change. You just have to start small. Develop consistency and discipline and give yourself time. There is no rush. Real, lasting, and meaningful change does not happen overnight. Number 3, sometimes what you're going through isn't about you. Every opportunity and experience you have is a part of your story that can be shared with someone else. Our skills, mistakes, talents, perceived shortcomings, and everything that we've experienced can be used as a gift for someone else. Share them, be open and vulnerable. In our own eyes, our lives may not seem like much. We might just be, talking, or maybe all we see is a jumbled mess of mistakes, disappointments, and failures. But the fact that we're still here, still trying, still going, might be the one thing that helps someone else keep going too. The growth on our journey isn't always pretty, and it certainly isn't a linear path. But one thing is certain: growth is necessary. Without the struggles, without the challenges, the bad stuff, you wouldn't know what you could handle. The failures, just as much as the successes, build us up and showed us that we are more capable and stronger than we realize. The lows allow us to truly appreciate and value the highs and moments of joy when they come across our path. If you're in a place where you don't know where to go, what to do, don't worry about getting it right. Instead, I encourage you to start with just one step. Focus on what you can do today, right now, in the present moment. Take the time to sit with yourself, reflect, be honest, ask questions, and pray about who you are, what you value, and what you really want to do in this life. Then, take a step in a direction, even if you aren't 100% sure, and trust that with each progressive step, you'll get closer and closer to exactly where you're supposed to be. Thank you.